Brothers, the spore is hated, but if you wait 2 seconds from your warning chime, you will be able to evade its vile touch. I still see Battle Brothers struggle to evade the Xenos filth of these wretched minds. Wait but 2 seconds from the warning chime and then evade. You will find success and your armor free of their putrescence. Okay, great post. However, I do admit, trying to dodge spore mines sometimes can be a pain. They will definitely let you know when it's time to dodge, and then also they will let you know that that does not matter. That's the thing that bugs me the most about some of these dodge cues, or like whenever they show the orange circle around disc shamans or spore mines. You can't really rely on that. You still have to rely on the eye test and where they're actually coming from, because you could get like a spore mine spawning behind you, and depending on where you roll, you could just roll directly into that spore mine, even if you roll at a right time. So, I don't know. I think overall, when it comes to these, orange cues and these dodgeable attacks that you definitely have to perfect dodge, essentially, it can be a little bit weird, to be completely honest. Like, even with disc shamans, as I mentioned, they'll show you the orange cue and then not even throw an attack, and then throw the attack. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense. That's why when you see disc shamans, just smite them in the head, so you don't even have to worry about, dodging any of their attacks. Oh, on the subject of that, I wonder how disc shamans have been performing recently. It's pretty funny. Like, there was, like months ago, we couldn't stop complaining about these guys. But yeah, now it's fine. Yeah, disc shamans are a lot easier to deal with now. Spore mines are kind of easier to deal with. This is pretty much why we're circling back here, to make sure that we all can avoid spore mines correctly. But yeah, when it comes to spore mines, sometimes the orange cue just isn't good enough. Sometimes you need to rely on your instincts to actually perfect dodge spore mines. But yeah, let's go in the comments to see if anyone has any good notes or good tips for these, basically the warning chime dodges on spore mines. Yeah, once you learn to delay your dodge, they are pretty easy to avoid. That said, it's not always 2 seconds. It can be more or less depending on the mine's distance from you, so it requires some situational awareness. Yeah, I will say to really understand how to perfect dodge safely, situational awareness definitely goes a far way. I feel like situational awareness is one of the qualities of this game that's kind of, like, it's not on paper. It's one of those things that you need for this game that they don't really teach you. Like, you really have to be aware of your positioning, what enemies are on the table, practically where, like, everything that you can keep track of. You should try your best to keep track of your teammates, especially your teammates' health and stuff like that. But yeah, when it comes to spore mines, just kind of making sure you understand what is around you is very important. Very important. The important thing to know is that the chime means it's about to start flying towards you, and you need to be ready to dodge when it gets closer. Okay, yeah, that's kind of similar to the zoanthropes in a sense. It's kind of similar to the way zoanthropes show you, like, the death beam, and then it's about to come at you. Yeah, we talked about perfect dodging death beams quite a bit. Yeah, just for the topic here, if you see a zoanthrope kind of shoot the death beam on the ground, that is basically the orange cue to get ready to dodge, because in a second you're gonna have to dodge. So I see, like, spore mines kind of can do a similar thing here. That said, if you can't see it, don't know where it is, then 2 seconds is pretty good rule of thumb. Yeah, if it's behind you, I just try to roll forward, obviously. If you roll backwards, you'll probably roll into the spore mine. Dude, spore mines are pretty funny, dude. You can actually, like, since we have a challenge in the game where you kind of need to melee the spore mines, I think it's pretty funny because you can actually get away with, like, charge attacking spore mines more often than you think, and that can be potentially very helpful. Yes, that works for a single spore mine in an open field, not 38 gaunts, 7 majors, and 49 spore mines. Okay, that might be too large. It's more like 20 gaunts, 5 majors, and then 49 spore mines. In active combat in a tunnel or hallway. No, that's true. Like, trying to dodge spore mines in a hallway can potentially be very troublesome. Trying to dodge anything if you're cornered can definitely put you in a bad spot. You can sure try though. Yeah, I mean, sure, you can try. I mean, you can do the good old spamming, spamming roll thing. You can just continuously do that. That's always a good way to avoid attacks in this game. Is just play around a corner and just keep spamming roll. That's how the best do it. No, but seriously, when it comes to dodging enemies in like a hallway, like this amount of spore mines, you're probably better off just trying to get a major into executionable state and then just, ride out on the iframes from that. That is exactly how I would try my best to deal with spore mines. If you're in an enclosed room and you see a whole bunch of spore mines coming through, if you know you can take out a major very fast, I think that's the best play here, is to just do that. Just take out a major, get the executionable state, get the iframes, and then hopefully by the end of that, all the spore mines are broken, right? Don't look at the red circle. Listen for the chime when it's ending dodge. I rarely miss dodging a spore mine, and I've been doing it this way since they were introduced. Don't look at the red circle. Listen for the chime when it's ending dodge. I'm not too sure what you're trying to say here. Listen for its chime when it's ending dodge. I rarely miss dodging a spore mine, and I've been doing it this way since they were introduced. All right, I'm not too sure what they mean when it's ending dodge. That doesn't really track here. However, don't look at the red circle. Listen for the chime. I will say, yes, listen for the sound cue is a very good indication on when the attack is going to hit you. But yeah, I think when it's getting close to you, you should probably dodge. Like, I'm not too sure what they mean here. Listen for its chime when it's ending dodge. That doesn't really mean anything. But I will say, yes, sound cue's probably the most important thing. The mines I don't mind. It's the Biovores that end up killing me. They got a pretty good one for Biovores here. All right, so the the Biovores, at least recently, as a team, I've been able to, as long as you ping Biovores, I feel like a lot of teammates are ready to go with it. Like, to be completely honest, if you see a Biovore, ping it, and your teammates should focus it to get it out. Like, to be completely honest, recently, it's been pretty easy to take out Biovores, at least in absolute and in objectives, obviously. In siege mode, I can see Biovores obviously still being a little bit troublesome, considering the fact that they can just hide in the back and stuff. But yeah, the mines I don't mind. It's the Biovores that end up killing me. I guess, no, well, here's the thing. With Biovores, their moveset really isn't that threatening. They normally pounce on you. That's a good time for parry. And then they do, like, the claws attack. And then they have the close range explosion. That's very easy to perfect dodge. That close range explosion, I think that is the perfect, like, example for a perfect dodge. Because it's like, you see the orange Q, that is pretty much, that is a perfect, like, hey, dodge in a second. Like, that literally, the Bioavore's unblockable attack is actually very consistent for perfect dodging. When you see the orange Q, you basically are getting ready to perfect dodge it, like, instantly afterwards. It's like literally like a second. With spore mines, it's pretty interesting. They give you the orange Q and then they just kind of float around for a bit, which I honestly think is pretty annoying ultimately. It's like, dude, the orange Qs in this game can be unreliable. They can be very unreliable. That's why it's important to listen for sound cues, visual cues, obviously, everything like that. Dude, the disc shamans are the worst, man. I can count, I don't know if I can count it, but there's definitely been a handful of times where they do the unblockable, like, disc throw attack, and then you should be able to perfect dodge it when it's, like, heading towards you. But sometimes, even if you seemingly perfect dodge it, you didn't perfect dodge it. I don't know. The disc shaman disc throws have the worst orange Q in the game. It's so terrible. It is so terrible. It does not make sense most of the time. And while I'm on it, if we're ranting about sound cues and dodgeable cues in this game, if they're even reliable, the blue, like, parry for the Ravener, if the Ravener gets trapped on something like a corner or an enemy or anything like that, the Ravener will arrive late. In which case, your parry for the blue Q that it's showing you is unreliable. So potentially, you could get hit by Ravener just because it gets caught on something, and then your parry is no longer relevant because it's technically too late. But in reality, it was actually on time. It's just the Ravener getting trapped on something, hence hesitating its attack. that could be so frustrating. That could be so frustrating. So when it comes to the overall reliability on orange Qs, on blue Qs, on any of that stuff, sometimes just paying attention to the actual like attack of movement can also save you. But yeah, honestly, I would like to hear your guys' opinions on this. Are the Spore Mine dodge Qs, or at least are the Spore Mine dodge notices, are they reliable? Is dodging Spore Mines reliable at all? They're pretty reliable, but I think when it comes to certain attacks in this game, like dodging Disc Shaman disc throws are way less reliable. Like, the game practically sets you up to get hit by them, which is pretty funny. But yeah, let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about dodge Qs and if they're reliable. I can definitely think of a few dodge Qs that feel a little bit annoying. Spore Mines, Disc Shamans, parryable Ravener attacks are pretty silly, but yes, the Ravener can get caught on objects, potentially hesitating their attack, making your parry irrelevant. That can be super annoying. But yeah, let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this, and thanks for watching.